Everyone, remain calm.
Yeah, that's how it always starts. And later there's running and screaming.
Somebody talk to me! What is happening?
Welcome to Jurassic World.
You're listening to the Jurassic Park Podcast.
You want to consult here or in my bungalow? Hold on to your butts.
Well, we're back.
Hello and welcome to the 127th episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Jost, and we're here to discuss all things Jurassic Park. Bear with me this week, my voice is kind of going in and out, so let's hope I make it through this one. In this episode, we have a bunch of really interesting news to cover. I'll give a brief overview of the two most recent trailer teaser clips that debuted online and on Sunday Night Football. They're teasing the trailer that's debuting December 7th, this Thursday, so they gave us our first glimpse at what we're going to see in that trailer. But then we're going to jump into our monthly Jurassic Mailbag segment with none other than Jennifer Terek. This past month, we got a ton of questions from fellow listeners, and of course this segment, as usual, is full of non-answers, mostly gibberish, and the usual lack of professionalism that we've descended to in the Mailbag segment. Par for the course. Alright, well, I've got a packed episode for you this week, so why don't we get this one started off with a bit of Jurassic news from around the world.
18 minutes and your company catches up on 10 years of research.
Access rate program. Access new security.
These pictures were taken in hospital in Costa Rica 48 hours ago.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but look.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
But today, I guarantee it.
Just this past week, our friend Michael Pierce and the crew over at Jurassic Explorer debuted a tour of Jurassic Explorer, the final version, and in that tour video, they announced that the project has finally released for everybody to enjoy. Well, just first, actually, it's the PC users that can enjoy it just now. I think the Mac version is coming online soon, but the final version of the experience is ready for everybody to enjoy. It's so amazing looking. I did the voiceover in the tour video just recently, and the tour video came out great. I think Michael did a great job putting that together, and it really showcases all the amazing parts of that experience. If you head to our show notes, you'll actually find a link to a post that we made last week about this experience and how you can download it, how you can watch the tour video, and make sure you watch it, share it around, tell everybody you know, go download this thing and check it out. This next one popped up via Jurassic Outpost. They found a link to an official augmented reality Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom book that's coming out in May of 2018. It sounds really cool, so I'm gonna go ahead and read from the description right here. Carlton's official augmented reality book is jam-packed with exclusive movie imagery and background facts and lets you experience original Jurassic World dinosaurs through mind-blowing next-generation, fully interactive digital magic. Learn how to bond with and train Alpha Velociraptor Blue, then use her as a protector and a guide as you encounter other dinosaurs throughout the app. From brand new movie dinosaur characters, including awesome baryonyx and a terrifying new hybrid breed, to old favorites like T-Rex and Stegosaurus, this Jurassic World AR book will wow readers all over again. So yeah, that sounds actually really awesome, and it gives us a clue that there's going to be a baryonyx in this movie, which we might talk about a little bit more later on. So if you want to find out more details about this, head to our show notes for a link to Jurassic Outpost. Next up here, this one comes from the JP Collection on Instagram. It's the Funko Pop upcoming Jurassic Park figures that actually have the release date of March 15th, so that's really cool to find out. So let me run down this list here. It looks like we have John Hammond, Dennis Nedry, Dilophosaurus, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Velociraptor, Dr. Ian Malcolm, Dr. Alan Grant, and a Jeep. So that's really cool. It is missing any female characters, which is strange, aside from the dinosaurs, of course. But no Ellie Sattler, no Lex Murphy. So that's interesting. Maybe Ellie is in the Jeep one. It could be... It could be the Jeep chase from the T-Rex with Muldoon and Ellie in there. I don't know. We'll have to find out. And that's, I don't know. I'm really happy with this list, aside from the fact that it is missing Ellie there. That's kind of a disappointment. No representation, which is strange. You know, after all the representation issues from Jurassic World, you'd think they'd kind of correct these issues, but not yet. So I don't know what's going on here, but Funko does seem to be making some cool figures, missing out on others, but we'll have to wait and see. Apparently March 15th. Head to our show notes to find the link to that picture on Instagram. Here we have an update from Jennifer Terek via BDH Network. Totally losing my voice. And this is actually about Chris and Bryce. They're going to be on Ellen this week on December 5th, this Tuesday. So expect something Jurassic World related there. It actually says in the synopsis on their website from that episode that the extremely talented Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are here today. The two star in the highly anticipated new film Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Hold on to your hat, because this is going to be a blast. I feel like that was a missed opportunity to say hold on your butts, but instead they went with hold on to your hat. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, check this out. I don't know what channel Ellen's on. I don't watch it, but I'm losing my voice, so I'm just going to keep going. This is crazy. Okay, so December 5th, this Tuesday. Watch it. Well, this is not an update, but it's me telling you that I'm still losing my voice, and I guess this is what just happens when I'm sitting here by myself, you know, talking to myself. Not gonna say it. Okay.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Mommy's very angry.
This will give the parents nightmares.
No, I'm simply saying that life, finds a way.
Is that good?
You find him?
Fantastic.
Just the parts they didn't like.
I believe I've spent enough time in the company of death.
Hang on, this is gonna be bad.
All right, I'm back here. We're going to discuss these two clips that were released online and via like Sunday Night Football for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, these are the first, I guess, official clips. We got that one just recently with Chris Pratt and the baby Velociraptor. But we don't know exactly how that fits into the whole thing here. But these two are official teasers for the trailer. This is the world we live in, where you get a teaser to a trailer. But if you don't want to know anything about these, if you don't want to know what imagery is being displayed here, what kind of scenarios they're getting into, you can go ahead and skip ahead a few minutes. This is going to be pretty short because, as I mentioned before, I'm losing my voice, and if I keep talking, it's just going to get worse, and you don't want to hear that. So I'm going to save it for when the trailer actually debuts later in the week. But let's start here with the one from Universal Pictures UK. It's the first one that features Chris Pratt running away from something, screaming "run." We don't know what it is at first, upon first glance, but then we see that this, we've been talking about it here on the podcast for a while, kind of assuming, and even before we heard any rumors and whatnot, we always assumed that something like this would happen. But you see the volcano exploding or the island exploding, and there's like fireballs raining down, but the main thing that's happening here is all these herds of dinosaurs are storming away from this explosion. And Chris Pratt is yelling "run" to Bryce Dallas Howard and Justice Smith. We get our first glance of Justice Smith here in an official capacity. I don't know much about his role at the moment, but hopefully we'll learn something about that soon, maybe on Thursday even. But it's really awesome. We see it looks like a bunch of Gallimimus, Pteranodons. I don't know what that one looks like. It looked too big to be a compy, but maybe like a Coelophysis. That would be pretty awesome if that's what that was. Yeah, that's what it kind of looks like. I mean, maybe it might be just a perspective. It could be a compy, but it looks a little too big to me. We see a bunch of Apatosaurus, Stegosaurus. I think there's a Triceratops in there somewhere. And then the cool part is that they go and hide behind a bunch of wooden logs, really dead-looking wood, and a gyrosphere that's actually, I guess, been abandoned at some point. And they picked sort of like a bad spot, I think. They didn't choose wisely, because there's a Stegosaurus charging through. On the other side, there's a Triceratops. a bunch of smaller dinosaurs, and the Apatosauruses are flying through Ankylosaurus. It's just craziness. There's one here, I'm looking on the left-hand side. It looks too big to be, because at the same time almost, a Gallimimus runs, but there's something bigger. I don't know if it's a Velociraptor, maybe even bigger than that actually, so I'm not too sure what that is. But they're hiding essentially just behind the gyrosphere. Luckily that thing's still intact. Convenient, I know. But that's about it. I mean, it's just a lot of crazy effects, smoke smoldering in the jungle as Chris Pratt is running. Everybody looks out of breath already. So they know some bad stuff's going down. The jungle is on fire and smoke everywhere, like I said. And man, this is just craziness. But the one thing I get from this is, you always hear about animals having, a different sense of when to run and hide and get away from dangers like natural disasters and stuff. And I'm thinking they're a little too late here. So I don't know if these dinosaurs had no instinct. But they just, they're running as it's happening. So maybe some left behind. Some were a little bit dumber than the others. Maybe they didn't evacuate on their own. But they're running out of places to go because there's lava and, essentially like meteors like raining down on them. So that's it. That's that clip there. Let me move on to the next one. Now, I don't know. I didn't watch these on TV. So that first one, I believe, just was from Twitter or online. It is on the YouTube page as well. But the next one I found via Carter from the Lost World. He actually recorded his TV, I guess, when this one aired live. And this, let me try to start it from the beginning here. This one features Chris Pratt again looking up towards that explosion. Two different scenes. And we see it again. But there's a bunch of text in between everything here. But one of the more interesting shots is we get to see Bryce and Justice Smith in looks like some sort of maintenance shed. It looks very reminiscent of the maintenance sheds or the underground areas in Jurassic Park. So I'm sure Jurassic World had these utilidors around there as well. But it's a very orange glow, maybe like some emergency lights going off. And there's a dinosaur that's coming through a tunnel as well, and this looks like the same place because Bryce and Justice are very scared looking, to be honest. And this dinosaur lumbers out. It is nasty looking. Everybody's saying it's a baryonyx. I don't know. Sure, whatever. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But it's snarling, it looks like, and it's got some nasty drool hanging from its mouth. I don't know if it just ate something or it's got some wicked virus, but it's disgusting looking. It actually reminds me of the Troodons from Jurassic Park, the game. It's giving off a lot of vibes like that. I don't know if you guys remember that at all. But I specifically remember being, I think, down in those like maintenance areas, and you were controlling the characters, and these Troodons, I forget what was up with them, but they were like zombie looking. They had these crazy glowing eyes, and I'm pretty sure they were drooling all over the place. This sort of looks like that more so. And I was looking at the baryonyx imagery on the website, the Jurassic World website and stuff, and it looks very different than what we see here. So maybe there's just a different breed, a different style. Some people are guessing the Indoraptor, which we've heard about, here and there. I think that might be a little bit different than what we see here. But whether it's a baryonyx or something else, maybe a Troodon, that would be really cool. Either way, it's so disgusting and so awesome looking. I can't wait to see what it is. But the other shot here towards the end is Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard opening up the back of a truck, like a transport truck, and inside is a sleeping or knocked out Tyrannosaurus Rex, and it looks like Rexy herself. There has been leaked images around the web at some point of something very similar to this. Looks a bit different though, to be honest, so I don't know, they maybe touched it up. But we see a sleeping Rex here, which is crazy. Oh man, I'm just like dying to know how they got that in there. Was it some sort of Roland Tembo style scenario thing where they tranked it and they put it in there? I'm assuming. But what is happening? Like, why is it in this container? It looks like an open container maybe on the top. some bars. It looks like a little, cage of sorts. Maybe not little, big. But it looks crazy, and I don't know why it's there or where it's going. And then the teaser ends with Chris Pratt saying, "This is gonna be awesome." Wow, my voice sounds great, doesn't it? Yeah, so this is going to be awesome. And he's looking, it looks like he's in a similar area. There's like a truck behind him, and looks similar to the truck that we saw just with the Rex in it. But why is he saying it? This is going to be awesome. Because if he's looking at that Rex and that type of scenario, I don't think he'd be saying this is going to be awesome. I feel like he's just like, there's like some truck pulled up with some sick motorcycles, and he's like, this is going to be awesome. Can't wait to ride that thing. And I don't know. That's my guess. It's a wild guess. It's my no-voiced guess. But I don't know if anybody is even listening to this at this point after hearing my horrible voice. But those are the two clips. And I am super excited to see what happens on Thursday with this trailer release. Hopefully it's a nice, lengthy trailer. We could probably get a refresh to some of these scenes. Maybe some more context. Maybe some characters, more characters revealed. I'm still, banking on Ian Malcolm being in there at some point, maybe a voiceover, like a last glimpse at the end of the trailer, maybe even. But this is going to be exciting. This is going to be really awesome. So this is debuting at Thursday Night Football, and I know you'll probably be watching. I don't know if I'm going to be watching any football, but I'll be fine. I'll find the trailer somewhere. Don't worry. I think it'll be online really quick. So that's that. So I hope you enjoyed that, and stay tuned. We didn't really talk about any of this stuff. We recorded prior to any of these teasers, aside from the Raptor and Owen one. We saw that and talked about that for a few, but we didn't talk about any of this stuff in the Jurassic Mailbag segment. So stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoyed this.
Aren't you supposed to be a genius or something? I can't get Jurassic Park back online without Dennis Nedry.
Incorporating all the latest technologies.
We shouldn't be here. And there's 5 dinosaurs.
How many Sarahs do you think are on this island?
Hello, everybody. It is December, and we're back again for another Jurassic Mailbag segment. And I'm joined, as usual, with my co-host for this segment, Jennifer Terek. How you doing?
Hey, welcome to the work bathroom.
Yes, the inside out of, podcasting is sometimes you got to do it from a bathroom. It sounds good. The acoustics are good, right?
I guess so. It's spacious. It's bigger than the room I normally do it in, so it's good.
This wouldn't be podcasting without some sort of internet issues or space issues or something like that. So, we made it. Somehow we're here. I don't know how long this is going to last, but we're here, at least for December. It's feeling very cold and chilly out. I see some snow coming down. I think we're ready for this.
I mean, if the podcast ended right now, you could still release it because it happened.
Look,
we got it working.
I think people just want to hear your voice. That's all it comes down to. And this month we get the chance.
I guarantee it's not that. That's probably preventing them.
I feel like every voicemail or every call or email we get is all about Jen. Whether it's, not watching The Lost World, that's one thing, but that aside, you're definitely, super welcomed here, and everybody wants to hear your responses. So,
that's so nice.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what December brings.
I know. Nothing too, holiday oriented. It's all just normal Jurassic questions here and there. So, I got to apologize here. I don't think we've ever read this before, but I must have missed it. Back in like September, maybe. I'm not sure if I read this. So, Ricky, you'll have to hit me up on Twitter or whatnot and let me know if we actually did this. It sounds somewhat familiar, but maybe I read it. I don't know. But I'll bypass that for now just in case I actually did it. But I do have a voicemail from Ricky here. So why don't we actually start off with that one? So let's take a listen. Wow.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ricky here. It's actually my first time calling in. Last time I wrote you guys, I think back in October for the mailbag. But anyway, just wanted to keep good on my word and give you guys a dinosaur call like I promised. Hopefully it wasn't too bad though. Anyway, I had a quick question. I'm currently halfway through The Lost World, the book, and I was just wondering what your thoughts of the book compared to the movie were. If you
Why?
Obviously, it's a lot different than the movie, but it's still pretty good so far. I know Jen won't have a whole lot of input on this. She's got a Lost World boycott going on, but I still had to ask. Also, never enough mind up the good work, and that's it, man. Appreciate it. You guys rock. See ya.
Well, sorry, Jen. Well, you want to kick it off?
All normal here.
Oh, thank you, Ricky, there. That was a great call. And, that's a great idea. I think we should, implement that. If anybody's going to call in, you guys better be, growling or roaring or doing something that sounds dinosaur-ish. That was pretty awesome.
I was a little concerned. I'm like, what's happening? Is that it? Is that the call? I thought it was just going to end right there. I don't know.
Just wanted to give you that dinosaur roar. That's it. Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And then follow up with a question I cannot answer. So this is great start.
Well,
great.
Look, I mean, he mentioned it, so he's at least pinpointing the fact that he knows you're not going to give it too much of an answer. And to be honest, I'm not either, really. I don't have I haven't read this book in a while. It's been how long has it been? It's probably been I hate to say it, but 10 years. It's been a little while. But
and you can't remember it enough.
Look,
answer?
I don't know what I did yesterday, Jen. I really don't. I have
or
no
5
clue.
minutes ago.
I have no clue. Look. I know the movies inside and out. I know broad general sense of the books here and there. I know a little bit more about the original book, but this one it's like a blur to me at this point. I don't know why. I've read it several times. I don't know why it's such a blur, but I do. I know that there's vast differences between the movie and the book, and I think the movie hits me a lot better. I think I love the movie a lot better, and the same goes for the original book too. I love the movie better. I guess it's just more digestible, as a movie medium than it is the book for me. I do love reading, and I don't know what it is about that one, but I found that one to be very slow at times. And yeah, I feel like the story was a bit more disjointed, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I wasn't connecting with it as much as the first book or whatnot, but it felt a little convenient at times, and there's so many characters, and also I think for that book, I probably read that one, I would assume, after the movie came out. Same with probably same with the first book, after the first 2 movies came out. I was a late reader. Give me a break. Jen, I don't think you're reading yet. You still don't know how to read? Is that it?
I don't know how to read yet. Okay. You're ahead of me.
I'm at a 4th grade level right now currently. I think I'm at 4th grade. That's probably true. But
I'm not there. You're way more advanced.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough read, but I do love it. I think it's dark, and it connects a lot to all 4 movies in a way. And I don't know, Ricky, maybe I got to dive back into this. It's about time. And I've had so many people either call or write or tweet us or message us somewhere and just say you guys got to talk more about the books. And it's just no fault of my no fault of my own. No, completely my fault, because I haven't read them in a while. So I feel like I'm just ranting myself
happening?
Here. I don't know. I really don't know. This is what happens.
I think you went to a 3rd grade level. You just dropped a little.
This is what happens when I record by myself and I realize, hey, I'm talking to myself this whole time, and this is all one very long outtake, except this time it's not. It's actually going live because there's no editing this segment. So, Ricky got a very never offline response from me. So, with much less cursing, that's for sure. But sorry. But yeah, I don't know. That's my response. So I'll get back to you, Ricky, on that one. And let me know about the message. It was a what was it? A text which I don't really know we actually get texts. So.
You're falling to second grade right now. Like,
hey,
you're not completing
second grade. I think I have my headphones on too much and I can't hear myself talk. So
I don't know.
Why don't we move on to an email that I'll have to read out loud?
Perfect.
All right, this one is from Kat. It came via our website. We have the website contact form, so you can, ask your questions there. This says, and Kat's always writing in on there, so that's awesome. This one says, one of the things that really got us hooked before Jurassic World even came out was their very clever website. As you know, they mimicked a real amusement park website. My friends and I were pretty much going there every day, checking on the website. What tour would we book? What was the weather like? What does the hotel have to offer? What shows are going on, etc. We could hardly wait for the film to see the real park. They are not doing anything like that for Fallen Kingdom that I can find. Their old website is now just a basic website, not pretending to be a real theme park anymore. Like you were saying on one of your recent podcasts, there isn't much out for the new movie at all. Have you found any clever marketing like the first Jurassic World movie? Maybe they need to hire their previous marketing company to get something going. Drop some cool stuff on social at least. So that's that email there from Kat. Thank you, Kat. That's a good point that you called out there. I think that's pretty true, right, Jen?
Yeah, but weren't there a lot of plans to do some big viral marketing thing like that? Like they bought a lot of domains and they're going to set up all this dinosaur saving campaign things.
Yeah,
what happened with that?
I don't know. It was teased. The problem with this was we were teased with so many little pictures and little tidbits here and there very early on. And, I mean, maybe not all film franchises get that opportunity really early on, but they did that to us and then gave us zero things, right? Like nothing until just the other day and hopefully this week. I mean, so it's a very different time right now. So maybe this question is hopefully going to not mean anything in the next few days. But
when did they last for the Jurassic World 1? When did they start all that online campaign stuff?
I'm having a very hard time recalling what the date was or anything like that or how far in advance.
Are we still
honestly,
too early for that? Maybe?
I think it's still too early because, I mean, I may be completely off base, but I don't think so. I think the Mizrahi Global, man, I can't talk. Mizrahi Global, I'm pretty sure that came out after, like the Backdoor website. And the Backdoor had a ton of viral stuff. And that was really for hardcore fans. I don't really think that, spread out too far. It really didn't get into the, mainstream culture and whatnot. The website where you actually had to, you felt like a hacker. You had to get in there. You were sifting through emails through the park, just finding out all kinds of backstory on the history of the park. So that stuff, I believe, came after because they didn't really want to spoil anything. As far as the Mizrahi website, yeah, that came a little while in advance because they wanted to establish that character and his company and whatnot. But right now, I mean, it's so vague as to what this movie is and what it will be. But that's going to change real quick. And I think we got to leave it to Colin. Colin Trevorrow said it's going to get loud very soon. So, enjoy the silence. The silence is over. Let's be honest. I mean, as soon as that six second clip hit, the internet went crazy, and not just Jurassic internet, but the entire internet was covering that. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a bit early. It doesn't feel early for us because we've been following it for years, and now. Yeah. We know when they started filming. We know when that ended, and it feels like forever for us that they should be ready to go by now. But it is technically only December, and we have a whole half a year, and there's a lot of stuff they got to do, release and promote yet before then. And even the spring, I would say, would probably be where everything comes out. But maybe it is a tad early for in general to release those kind of websites, interactive websites, because I know they have stuff that they had planned to do. So maybe we just gotta wait a little bit longer.
Yeah, all that Save the Dino campaign stuff. Frank Marshall was tweeting about it like crazy, and like you said, Isla Nublar Rescue Mission, I think, was a website that they bought. But you're right, there was a ton that they bought, like a bunch of domains. And as far as I know, none of them point to anything at the moment. But, I think that's going to change. As soon as this trailer is released, we'll probably get some more information.
I know that Bryce did stuff for that. I know that she filmed stuff. I know that there's stuff made for that. But when they're going to actually put it together and release it, no idea.
Yeah, and recently we did see them doing a lot of filming. We saw them at a museum, Chris and Bryce. So that hasn't been, public or anything, right? Like, it's just whatever happened there. Like, that's all they haven't shared that. Also, there was another
with
interview,
that, really
right?
quick, I would say you could argue that maybe that was like a charity thing or just a general promotion thing, but it was actually publicized by people involved as promotion, like a promotional event.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. That has to get released somehow, some way, I would think.
And then there was that other interview the two of them did. There was like a TV monitor or something, but also like black background that they were on or something like that, which was like pre-recorded, almost looked like, introductions to like, hey, you're about to see a clip from the movie or just talk about their time or something like that. So it seemed like interviews are being lined up for stuff like that, more information. As far as like viral stuff, like you said, I don't think we're going to get that until the spring. But I would definitely bet on getting it. I think it's coming, but just not yet.
Yeah, they filmed stuff. It has to.
Yeah.
But I know, I agree that it feels like it should have been out like months ago. But in reality, we're still a good chunk away. So,
the reality is that the mainstream audience, which, is not us. We're the super fans, the people that are paying attention every single day. The mainstream audience is a little, forgetful and absent-minded, and they'll see something and then forget about it, and like, they'll get something in their head and it'll go right out. So they're not ready for that stuff yet. They want them. Yeah. They want all this marketing and everything to hit them at the perfect time, and now it's just a little too early to release stuff like that, I think. But it seems like it's super late for the first trailer. It seems like it just all this stuff seems, but it's not true. It's hitting the right marks. So hopefully that answered that question. I don't know. Let's move on to the next one here. This is Amy. No, wait. Yeah. Let's go with Amy.
Hey guys, it's Amy. Hope you both had a great November. I just wanted to say that I loved both of your answers to my last question last month. Jen, I was so excited to see on Twitter that you got Nedry's stress knick-knack. Now all you guys need is the Lost World RV for Brad, and you guys are set to go. This month may not be the most original question, but I thought it'd be fun to ask you guys about this. So from the Jurassic Park movies, what is something you've never caught while watching one of them that someone else pointed out and it blew your mind? And it can be from any of the movies. My answer is about Jurassic Park. I found this out recently, and it honestly just blew my mind. While I was reading an article about Jurassic Park, the author pointed out that there was a homage page to the movie Jaws. And if you look at the scene where we first see Nedry, on one of his screens, you will see where Chief Brody is throwing chum and Jaws himself pops up from the water, but it happens very quickly. It's almost like a split second. I checked it out on YouTube and it's there. I have never caught that before. I literally have watched this movie hundreds of times from over the years, and I guess I just never catch the little details. But it definitely, I was really surprised, and it definitely makes sense because, Spielberg will add subtle Easter eggs from other movies that he has directed to other movies. But it's just really impressive to me that there are fans out there that will take the time to really analyze the movie and show something cool to other fans so we can all enjoy it. So yeah, that's my question this month. I hope you both have a fantastic December and a wonderful holiday season with your loved ones. Talk to you guys later. Bye now.
Wow, thank you, Amy.
She's so sweet. She is the sweetest. I want to meet Amy. I just think she's the sweetest thing.
I know. We all got to have a meetup sometime. I don't know where they're at. Her and Veronica. I don't know where everybody is. Ricky even. So we got to all meet up sometime. That would be so awesome. And Amy, next call, you better have a dinosaur roar, coming through that mic. I got to hear it next time.
It's a challenge now.
It is. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any things you never noticed, upon like I guess initial viewing or something like that?
I was thinking, and yeah, I kind of do. But first of all, shout out to the dude who bought me the squeezy thing. How do you say his name?
Yaroslav.
Yes. Shout out. Oh my gosh.
That's so awesome.
I came home from a weekend away, and it was in my living room, and I nearly cried. It was the best day of my life, almost. Thank you so much for that. That's amazing.
That was a really quick turnaround. It's like, oh, she needs this thing. Here it is. It's in your living room. Now you have it to enjoy forever. That's so awesome.
And I am enjoying it deeply. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And speaking of that, the funny thing is, when you talked about that, there were so many people tweeting us and messaging us saying, I never noticed that thing before. So kudos to you for noticing it and realizing that it's there and that you wanted it. So many people had no clue that thing even existed in the scene. I guess it's just one of those things that kind of slips by.
And doesn't that fit perfectly in Amy's question? Because maybe that was the thing for a lot of people, that it blew their mind. They just never knew it was there.
It's so funny because I noticed it, but there are things like that. I can't think of a ton off the top of my head. Did you have one you said?
Oh, yeah, I do have one. It's not as good as Amy's because that is a good one.
That is a good one,
but
yeah.
I guess I probably do have a lot of these, actually. Just throughout the years, though, they've just soaked in so much and conditioned so much that I never... But at the time when I found them out, I probably did blow my mind. But the one that came to mind is in Jurassic Park. And when Nedry's talking to the guy, I don't know, via Skype or like video, and it's a pre-recorded video. And because you could see the bar going across, right?
Yeah.
I never noticed that in my life. And when someone pointed that out to me, just maybe a couple years ago, even, that blew my mind.
But isn't he?
It's not as good as Amy Jaws.
He's talking to him on the phone, right?
Something like that.
And
it's supposed to be live, right?
Yeah, but I know what you're talking about because that bar goes across the bottom like it's a pre-recorded thing, like he's just watching a clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That blew my mind. I didn't know that. I never noticed that before. And that it like totally, it didn't ruin the thing, but it took away a little bit because it's like, oh, it's recorded. Okay.
Yeah, there's a few I would say like CGI errors and things like that I hadn't noticed until recently. I'm not even going to mention them really because if you see them, you like can't unsee it, and then it doesn't ruin anything for you. But if you don't want that like in your head, stuck in your head, then I won't give it to you. So you can search it out on your own if you want to find those things. But there's certain instances where something happens, something passes through CGI, or something's not even in the screen anymore. So it's very funny when you actually realize that. Like there's one instance where a dinosaur completely disappears, and then another one where somebody, I think like a tail or something goes in front of I forget exactly what the situation is, but there's circumstances like that I didn't notice earlier. For me, and it actually happened live on like the show one day. I forget what episode or when it happened. Maybe it was like the theme park episode, but I was talking with somebody and we were talking about the scene where, John Hammond is in his little area in the control room and he's doing the voiceover, right? And you hear the voice you are hearing is Richard Kiley. We spared no expense. And then it cuts to the scene of them in the tour vehicle and you hear Richard Kiley. So my conception, was that John Hammond was doing the voice of Richard Kiley, like a digital voiceover, like it would transform his voice into Richard Kiley's.
Is that true?
No, I think it's as simple as
idea.
I think it's as simple as he just introduced it. He's like, all right, guys, the voice you're about to hear is Richard Kiley. We spared no expense. And cue Richard Kiley. Then he starts talking. But the way I don't know why, I always viewed it as like, it's transforming his voice. It's a voice changer. And I don't know why I thought that because it's so absurd.
that is such a long way around things. Like,
I know.
Who thinks that way?
I don't know. Hopefully that's in line with what you mean there, but that's sort of what I experienced, and I don't know why I thought that. And it's just so obvious that he's just saying, like, you're about to hear this guy. Here he is. Take a listen. But instead, I'm like, he's using a robot voice, and it's going through this converter, and it's changing his voice into Richard Kiley's, and he's sitting there. He has to sit there the entire tour and say, on your right, you're about to see a Dilophosaurus.
Wow, that's an interesting. How did that ever even register that could happen?
Maybe it's because later on in the movie you see him sitting, I think, at the same place watching the monitor with Ian Malcolm. He's tapping the monitor. Hello. You do happen to have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour? So maybe that's why. Like, I'm like, all right, he's still sitting there. He's still doing the voiceover 20 minutes later. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. It's so strange. But that's my weird moment where I mean, it's not, I didn't necessarily never caught something, but it's similar, You're
one of a kind. I really think you're the only one that thought that ever.
Yeah. But I've been meaning to do it, and me and Fede, we talked about him, I think, last episode. He has like a giant list of misconceptions. And I think he maybe at one time gathered some or something like that. But we were going to do that episode where we just talk about things that we thought, one way, and then it turned out it was the complete opposite. So
I want to see that. Or hear that. I want to see that, Brad. Yeah, I want to see to reenact it.
Reenact it, yeah.
I want to hear that. That would be neat.
Well, hopefully someday. We talked about trying to do that, so that would be a really fun one, because I look like a complete idiot when I said that, and it's true, and that's what I thought. I don't care, laugh at me laugh at me if you want. There you go, laugh at that as well, because I'm dumb and I can't.
We all
talk.
Do. We all laugh. It's fun. It's what we do here.
All right, let's move on to another email. This one is from Carl. He says, "Hi, Brad and Jen. Longtime listener, first-time writer. Love the show. I was watching Jurassic World for the millionth time, and I realized that even though the Indominus is the clear antagonist of the whole movie, I can't help but feel sorry for it by the time the credits roll. The Indominus never asked to be created, and the park scientists/staff did a terrible job raising it and keeping it in isolation and not allowing it to properly hunt. The animal just acted instinctively as any predator would have in that scenario. To top it all off, the way it got bitten and scratched at by Blue and Rexy must have been painful. And then to die by drowning with a mosasaur isn't exactly a great way to go. No, it's not. I just can't help but feel that if the animal was properly cared for, then it wouldn't have suffered the fate it did. The whole story kind of reminds me of how some dogs and other pets in the real world aren't properly taken care of and turn out aggressive through no fault of their own. Anyway, just wanted to get your thoughts on whether or not anybody else feels a little bad for the Indominus. Thanks for listening." In parentheses, it says, "reading? Keep up the good work, Carl."
Oh, I love this question, Carl. I love this question because I think I talked about this maybe on my first podcast with Brad, because one of my favorite things about the Jurassic franchise is the dinosaurs are never the monster or the villain. It's the people and what they do with their power and their choices they make and the morals behind it. That's the basic of a Jurassic film. And you hit it exactly of why I love these movies, exactly how they touch human nature. And you're right, it is how you raise the dinosaur or the animal and your consequences from your decision. So I love that question.
Yes.
Love it.
That's the problem with the anybody analyzing like films like The Lost World or Jurassic World. They don't look on below the surface. They see the dinosaurs and that's it. That's where they stop. They see the dumb action and the stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, I'm done. There's nothing else to this movie." But there's so much more, and questions like this that people bring up, Carl, here, it's perfect because there is so much more below the surface. And something like the Indominus, there's a lot more to it, and it's not just a monster that was created. There's more to it, and I definitely feel bad for it. The first time I saw the movie, and I probably talked about it, from time to time, but the first time I saw it, like, I was obviously rooting against it. I was like, destroy this dinosaur. Don't kill the Rex. No, don't do that. Blah, blah, blah. Don't kill all the raptors. Oh, well, most of them died. But at that moment where they push it against the fence, I actually felt bad because she's like hobbled and she has, poles in her chest and bleeding everywhere, and she's bit and everything and scratched like you said. But, I feel bad for her. And then she gets dragged and she, you can see her trying to claw for life, like trying to hold on to every last breath. And then she just, as we assume, drowns, right? So I feel really bad for her, and she didn't ask to be created, and she was, and everybody treated her poorly.
And she didn't know how to act, what to do, or anything. I mean, so, yeah, that's why I will fight anyone who says Jurassic is a monster movie. It's not. And a lot of people put that in the category of a monster movie. It's not a monster movie at all. It's a human piece, and a great human piece. And that's exactly what you said. I know. I feel bad for that dinosaur too. Now even more so. Like, then since you talked me through it, now I just feel even worse.
Oh no. Yeah, it does like replicate a dog. It's just wants to play fetch, and just like, a dog will take a toy and rip it and just like and shake it back and forth. And that's essentially what the Indominus was doing, Maybe it was a little bit more lethal and stealthy and camouflage, obviously, all these weird traits. But, it couldn't help it. That's just the way it was bred, the way it was taught, essentially. And she had to fend for herself.
They kept kind of making it come across as like a dehumanized version of a dinosaur, if that's a thing. As in, it's like a killing machine, and it has no remorse or regret or anything, and just kill anything, not to eat it and such, just to kill it. And I always thought of it that way, but now that we're having this discussion, I'm like, well, maybe not. Maybe it was just trying to figure out like what it was doing and figure it out, because it really didn't know anything, didn't know any better. Yeah. So yeah, and in the right circumstance, it might not have been like that.
I know. If you just, sometimes if you let your dog out in the backyard, it comes back with like a dead rabbit or a dead squirrel or something that, you're like, no, what did you do? Oh, I feel you didn't know any better. It's one of those things that just happens, and that's how this animal was brought up. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for her, and we had to see it happen that way, because nobody wanted to see the Rex die. Nobody wanted to see Blue die, or any of the humans, or, some of the humans. So that's just the way it was. And yeah, I think a lot of people feel the same way. Those at least that like enjoyed the movie. There's a lot that don't. So, but yeah, hopefully we covered that one for you, Carl.
Oh, but I love that question.
Yeah, it is good. And those are the questions that more people need to be asking about all these movies. Like The Lost World is more about parenting. There's so much of a parenting storyline in that. And that seems like strictly like a monster movie, especially if you take in, the stuff at the end. It's like Godzilla, like that's what the movie is. It goes to San Diego, rampages, but it's not. It's about parenting. And the movie starts with Ian Malcolm being the parent, having the parenting issues, moves on to these Rexes having parenting issues. At one point, the Stegosauruses are having parenting issues, trying to protect their baby. So there's all these instances in that movie specifically that are beneath the surface that people just forget to analyze. Same with Jurassic World. And I think more people need to look at those facts,
Yeah, it's more than a monster movie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one here from our website, our contributor friend, Aaron Byer. He asks, is there any new dinosaur you're hoping to see in Fallen Kingdom? What new dinosaur would make all your Jurassic dreams come true? You have any, Jen?
Well, just like we got done saying, it's never really, in my opinion anyway, it's not about the dinosaurs for me. It's about what people do with them, like the human nature behind it, and the choices people make, and the morality questions, and just the different issues from a human piece standpoint. So the dinosaurs, in my opinion, I mean, they're great and all, but they're just a catalyst to the people. So I don't really have a preference. I don't care what dinosaurs they put in. I know that's blasphemy just as much as me not saying Lost World, but I don't care. Whatever dinosaurs they put in, I'm fine with, and I don't really care.
I get it though. I think you're right on, because it needs to be more about the human interactions and the story and the plot there's not a ton of plot you can take care of with just dinosaurs wreaking havoc. I personally don't want it to be about like sort of like the Indominus or the the Jurassic Park 3 was slightly different. I guess it's in line with Jurassic World, to be honest, like the way it had the big villain, the Indominus and the Spinosaurus, and then there was also the raptor plot lines. I don't want like the big bad, I don't want that to happen. I'd rather it be a mix of different dinosaurs, different stories with all these different dinosaurs. I'd really love to see the Brachiosaurus again. We didn't get it in Jurassic World. We got the Apatosaurus, but that's one I want to see again. I'm not like super knowledgeable on all kinds of different species of dinosaurs. Anything I would like? I'm just looking at my toys right now. Let's see. No, I've got my fill of like all these. I just want to see more Brachiosaurus. I think that's about it. But yeah, that's my pick because, we've gotten plenty of all the other ones. So, and I don't know, I want to see this baby raptor. I want to see more of that, whether it's blue or not. I want to see more.
Yeah, I'll take anything as long as it makes sense with the plot line of the people.
Yeah, I think that needs to come first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do we consider Jeff Goldblum a dinosaur at this point? He's getting up there in age, right? He's the old guy of the crew. Is he count?
Oh man.
Sorry, Jeff. I hope you're listening surely right now because this is your favorite segment. So sorry, dude.
Yeah.
We'll talk to
Jeff
you next
is
time.
Jeff is practically my neighbor, so yeah, he listens to this.
All right, let's move on here. Another great voicemail here. This is Veronica.
Yay.
Hey guys, Brad and Jen. It's me, Veronica. I like how I had to think about that. Because I'm driving and I'm on my way to school, so I'm like multitasking at the same time. But anyways, I was just thinking as I called you, like, wouldn't it be funny if you just actually answered? I think I'd get like really nervous and be like, oh, hey. Okay, anyways, back to my point. So sorry if you hear honking. People are rude out. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to call and talk about, well, of course, Jurassic Park. Like, who doesn't get tired of talking about it? I was actually reading this book called The Dresden Files. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. And in one of the books, they actually reference Jurassic Park, and there's like a dinosaur involved. Anyways, I thought that was really cool, and what I wanted to get from that is that, like, it's pretty awesome to see how relevant Jurassic Park in pop culture is. Like, it has been known for years and years and years, and, like, it's such a timeless classic, you know what I mean? Like, in all of my film classes and all of these other things, documentaries, Jurassic Park is like a movie that it's so well made that it just holds so strongly throughout years to come, and I just like find that fascinating and awesome, and like and I just wanted to share that with you guys. Like, it's just like, I keep saying like a lot, I'm sorry. It's just really cool, for a movie that was based off a book to create this universe and this wonderfulness. It's really, really awesome. I think that's pretty much all I have for you guys. I know this is like really short, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about that and get your thoughts on that. Like, where else have you seen Jurassic Park references? Like, all of the background things that go into it, the set, the director, the storyline, everything, like, I just love hearing you guys talk about it, even if we don't really get to our point, or if we don't even have a point. I love it. Anyways, guys, so I just wanted to wish you a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you guys next year. Bye!
Oh my gosh, that just killed me. Next year?
See
Holy
you in
crap.
2018.
What on earth? I didn't even think of that. Oh my gosh. What is happening?
That is,
Okay.
yeah, she likes to just hear us ramble. So let's not even talk about her question. Let's talk about something else. You got anything?
Where did 2017 go?
No, I love this point that she brings up. It's so relevant. Like everywhere you turn, Jurassic Park is somewhere. And I was listening to a podcast today, and there's a Steven Spielberg movie coming up soon. I don't know when, called The Post.
Yeah, on Christmas. I just
Christmas?
heard it on the radio yesterday.
Okay. So, yeah, that's coming up, which is making people talk about Steven Spielberg and what's his greatest movies, blah, 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 all that stuff. And every time, without a doubt, if there's, like, I was listening to a podcast, there was 3 people, I think 2 or 3 have had Jurassic Park on their list. And it just comes up everywhere. I listen to other podcasts that have nothing to do with Jurassic Park, like this one that's like a science show that I listen to. They talk about different science news stories, and if there's anything about cloning, you better bet Jurassic Park's coming up in discussion somehow. And just random people will reference it, whether it's quoting like anything from the movies, hold on to your butts, like stuff like that. It's just so relevant to everyday life. There's constant discussion about Jeff Goldblum. He's out there all the time, and especially with the GIFs on Twitter and whatnot. Like you always see, especially if like somebody's making like a poor choice in pop culture or in the media somewhere, you bet there's going to be a GIF of Ian Malcolm, in there somewhere. There's always something funny going on like that, and I think it's just super relevant, and it's always on somebody's mind. I don't know why. I guess just because it's so great, and probably because they're listening to this all the time, and they just can't stop thinking about it, obviously.
Well, yeah, and I'm just really glad it is like that, because it could have fell by the wayside. And even though it's Steven Spielberg, yes, and it had a sequel, yes, but still, I mean, things fall away if they're not stay relevant like that. And I'm so glad it's still around, and I'm so glad people are sticking to it. And I mean, and I was going to say, because your science podcast there, it does cover so many things. I mean, it was a marvel with the CGI animatronic mix, so it still holds up with that. And I see a lot of movie reviews who review things nowadays, and they still say back in 1993 Jurassic Park did it better. Like they still say that's the standard. So it holds that for film industry, and then it holds the science thoughts, because the book, I'm guessing Michael Crichton's book really covered the science of the park and the dinosaurs and such. So that's important. That science people reference that, and then just Jeff Goldblum is a whole monster on his own with that. So yeah, I mean, I love that it's relevant. I love that it's still around, and you see it everywhere. And I know I love ER. That's my favorite thing ever, and that's a Michael Crichton show. And so whenever I watched any documentaries, and they still make them once in a while for that show, because it's been so many years by now that they're doing reunions and all this stuff, and they still say Jurassic Park and that, because that's his thing, and it had a lot of influence of how ER started. So that is even a big deal. So it's everywhere, and I love that it's everywhere. I want to see it everywhere all the time.
I know. I watch other movies, and I see them referencing, like, I don't know why. I just was in the mood to watch this movie, super old movie. I think like 1996, not as old as Jurassic Park, but it was like an alien movie, The Arrival. It's like pretty bad, but like I just loved watching it when I was a kid. And I watched it like last night, and I'm like, oh my God, they're trying to reference Jurassic Park so much. It's ridiculous. Like, and even the aliens that are in that movie screech like raptors. If you watch Avatar, like horses make raptor noises. There's like monsters in the woods that make dinosaur, like T-Rex noises or something. So like the sound effects are super relevant to any kind of like monster movie. I've seen like top 10 lists of, like, I know you're not going to agree, favorite monsters, and like, the Rex or something will be on there, or Raptor or something. Anytime you're talking about a score, Jurassic Park is always on that list.
I just thought of that. Yes, anytime the radio, they do these top 5 theme songs, movie scores, blah blah, and Jurassic's always on there.
Yeah.
Yes, and then the concerts, the John Williams concerts around, they do that still. They include that. So, yeah, that's true.
I just don't. I mean, I get it. I get it, but like I don't, because we see it every day. But like other people that don't even care about the movies really are still referencing it. It's so funny, and
it hits every mark. You got the music, you got the innovation and Jeff Goldblum, and like just you have the whole. It hits every mark that people would be interested in somewhere. Science everywhere.
And I mean, look, honestly, there really hasn't been like a true dinosaur movie since, So I mean, there has been dinosaur movies here and there, but like nobody cares about anything other than the Jurassic brand. And whether it's the font choice or anything, it's all about that brand, and you won't see any other series come close.
No, because they did it the best. They did it right. They did it the best.
All right, so thank you, Veronica, and we'll see you in 2018. And you better have a dinosaur, roar. You got to have it too. I mean, whether you're driving or not, or in class or something, just roar. Get everybody to roar. And maybe I'll pick up that. Maybe I'll pick up, and you'll be like, "Hey, what's going on? Hey, no, I won't. I won't do that to you." But I put it out there to Amy and Veronica. I said like they need to start their own segment. Like,
oh yes.
How awesome would that be?
Well, what would it be on? I don't know.
I don't know. Anything they wanted to. Anything.
Oh, they're both. I love them. They're both so nice.
All right. So the next one here is an email from Michael. He says, "Hi there. Love listening to you guys. The mailbag is such a fun segment. Wanted to add my 2 cents to a question from last month. If I could own any item/prop from the series, it would totally be the raptor resonating chamber from part 3. How cool would it be to see if it affected modern animals, or just to use it to annoy friends?" Also wanted to contribute a new question, so here it is. If you could rename the series something other than Jurassic Park, what would it be? That's email from Michael. That's awesome, man. That's a good one to pick. That thought did cross my mind, the resonating chamber, making that crazy noise that Grant makes, the screech and the it's that was just me blowing into my hand.
You don't even need it. Look, you got it fine.
I know, yeah, true. Yeah, I don't need it. And today, it would be so easy to just 3D print that. Like, I could do it myself. But that would be a really good one. And just to, like, it would be interesting to see if animals, like, take note of it. That would actually kind of be interesting because, there's all these, like, duck calls or, dog whistles and things like that. That would be interesting to see if it worked. Let's see. What was this question?
Think of that.
Yeah. And renaming the series something other than Jurassic Park. Do you have any ideas?
Ooh, that's hard. What else could you possibly name it?
I don't know. I've heard people like say like Cretaceous Park or, stuff like that, because technically a lot of these dinosaurs didn't live in the Jurassic era. I don't know.
Wow.
I think it's perfect the way it is. Like, I don't care that they didn't live in that time frame. Jurassic just has like a nice ring to it, and maybe it's because like that's all we know, but I just love that so much. I mean, I guess you could, I don't know, like something just simple like Nublar. It doesn't really ring as well. It doesn't sound as good. Yeah. I'm not good at this on the fly.
Because even if it wasn't a park, like you could take park out, but then
Jurassic. Come see the new movie, Jurassic. And that's it. I guess that would work. That would probably work.
I don't know. That's a really, really hard. I'd like to hear if anyone has any suggestions or ideas, because I don't know. I don't really have one.
Yeah. I mean, we always see like variations on different titles, and like before Fallen Kingdom was a title, we were always like hearing people say like different versions, like the Lost Park, Jurassic World, stuff like that. Which I never was like on board with that. I thought that was not a good title. But man, I don't know. I think Jurassic Park's perfect.
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing. I'd love to hear other people's opinions if they got one, because I got nothing.
I would name it Island of Dinosaurs. Dinosaur Island. How about just
Dinosaur Island?
That's already a thing. That's like been a thing 1,600 times already. So
why ain't it like Jurassic Island then?
But that's like, we could have that. That could actually be a thing, which would have had to have been back then, I guess, because now they're like probably not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Kingdom.
No.
We have Fallen Kingdom. Maybe Kingdom could be used somehow. Dinosaur Kingdom or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds cheesy.
It does. They all do. I mean, Jurassic Park doesn't sound cheesy to me, but I've known it for so long. So
it might be cheesy. Like if we never heard it before and they were trying to name a dinosaur movie and they said Jurassic Park is a choice, we'd be like, that sounds stupid. So I don't know. It's so ingrained in us that we can't really see past that.
Yeah, I know. I can't see past it. And I have a hard time coming up with anything else.
Yeah.
He said that question, but he didn't like respond with one that he wants to see. So
because there is no answer here.
There is none. Yeah, Michael, next month or next year, you write back, tell us what you think, or hit us up on Twitter or something like that. Because I'm curious. I want to find out more. Like it would be interesting to have people call in, give their dinosaur impression, and then also tell us what they'd name the movie.
That's a requirement now.
Yeah. So many requirements just to call in. Make it hard for everybody. Nobody will want to call in next month. Let's move on here. We have the last one. This is the last thing. Yeah, we got everybody there. So let's hit this voicemail from Carter from the Lost World.
Hey, Brad. This is Carter from the Lost World. Just wanted to give the voicemail a call about today, the little, I don't know if it was a leaked teaser for a trailer came out today, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on this whole thing that it came out and now they're pulling it back. And I hear a lot of people or see a lot of people on Twitter saying that because of Infinity War or whatnot, the next Marvel movie coming out, that they're holding back on releasing this. I don't understand what that has to do with anything. To me, we're getting two good trailers, so I don't see how one would cancel out the other. But I just want to get your thoughts on that to see exactly why they would do that because of Infinity War. Well, anyways, yeah, today was pretty hectic. I guess maybe by the time we discuss this on the podcast, we'll have some better answers. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Also, I just wanted to say, for Extinction Level, whoever casted Jennifer to play Sarah Harding, that's awesome. All right, well,
thanks.
Great, you have a great podcast, and I just want to say thanks for putting out all the material, and I'm pretty sure you're going to get busy the next couple of months, and with the teaser supposed to come out, I think it's still scheduled. The trailer is still scheduled at least to come out during the Star Wars movie, so I'm sure you guys will get pretty busy. All right, thanks for the listen. Bye.
All right,
Awesome.
We got some straightening out to do here. We got some timelines to fix.
Yeah.
Okay, so
it was tough to understand.
I saw this rumor. The thing he just said, I saw that rumor by one person, and it blew my mind because no way did Jurassic change their release date because of Infinity War. I don't know where that came from, but no, that did not happen. It was never planned for this week, ever. Infinity War was supposed to be this Thursday here coming up, and then that teaser got released by mistake on this past Sunday, and it was meant for next Sunday, but it got released this past Sunday. This is all going to be messed up because we're not even recording, and but anyway, this past Sunday, and then the Infinity War people saw, oh no, there's going to be Jurassic trailer on Thursday when we were supposed to release, and so they moved it back a day. And Jurassic was always supposed to be December 7th. That was never in question. It's just that teaser came out a week early by mistake and threw everybody off.
Yeah.
Including the Infinity War people.
I know. That's the funniest part because like they were very hyped about like teasing that trailer, which they've done a great job like at marketing that trailer and like it's so weird that we're in this age where you have to hype a trailer release. Like that's so crazy that's where we live now. You know, that's the thing that you have to do. Like they put out the Infinity War people, the Marvel people put out like which would probably never happen for Jurassic, but an awesome, like, fan-inspired trailer, like, for the trailer. Like, showing all their reactions to the previous trailers, the excitement of the fans, stuff like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was really awesome. It was very moving. It showed clips from the movies and, like, how excited people were to see this, like, all the past trailers. That's not going to happen this time. It just, I don't know. They just don't do that for us. But for Infinity War to debut the day we're recording this right now, which is Wednesday. What is it? What is today? 29th?
29th, yeah.
So they released the Infinity War trailer, but was supposed to be tomorrow on Thursday, because initially they had, like, teased the trailer with a number 3, and then it was supposed to be 2, 1, and then the day, which would have been Thursday. Yeah. But then I guess they got spooked, right?
Yeah, I guess I should have done my explanation with dates instead of Sunday. So let me try it one more time. So the Jurassic teaser trailer accidentally came out on Sunday, November 26th, and the Infinity War trailer was supposed to come out November 30th. Now, because this teaser trailer came out November 26th for Jurassic, implying that the main trailer was also going to come out on November 30th, Infinity War freaked out and went a day before, which would be the 29th. However, that teaser trailer was originally supposed to come out on November 3rd, the following Sunday, in prep for the trailer on the 7th, which is still going to be on the 7th. So Universal came in and retracted that teaser trailer, but Infinity War already freaked out and released the day before. But we're going to still get teasers this Sunday, December 3rd, December 3rd. We're
start
still
over.
Get the teasers for December 3rd, and the trailer's still coming out December 7th. So Jurassic didn't change anything, except somebody made a mistake by releasing it a week earlier, and thus Infinity War got released a day earlier. There's your timeline.
Which blows my mind. I can't believe that that's something that happened. Like, that Marvel was spooked with Avengers, which is one of the biggest movie franchises there is, and especially with Infinity War. Like, that movie is hyped way more than any Marvel movie I've ever seen. So honestly, I think Infinity War is going to take the summer next year. I think it's going to beat Jurassic in terms of box office. I know it's kind of blasphemy probably, but I think that's probably what's going to happen. I don't know.
I mean, you're right. The fact that they were spooked by it is actually awesome.
It is, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It is really crazy, and I never would have expected that. You know, it almost looks like Jurassic was spooked. Like, that's the way I would have seen it play out. If they did just so happen to book on the same day, like, I would have assumed, like, oh, Jurassic's like, oh, no, we got to get out of here, Infinity War. People are going to go crazy. And he does have a point in his voicemail here, like, or I don't know if he said this or not exactly, but Infinity War and Jurassic on the same day. The main reason they wouldn't do that is because they don't want their attention split. Like I said earlier in the episode, that people are dumb. You know, we're all dumb humans, and we'll forget. And we'll visit one trailer and then go look at the other one, and we'll forget, you know, whichever one looked greatest is going to stick in our head. And they don't want that happening. They want you to see one, you know, forget about it, and then see the other one, you know, a week later or whenever it is. And obviously, yeah, we're not totally going to forget, most of us. I mean, they're going to play in front of big movies still coming up for the next 6 months. You know, these movies are going to play. So, yeah, we're not totally going to forget, but they just don't want that to happen on the same day. Every trailer wants to get the most amount of views. You know, they want to at least be able to say, like, this trailer had the biggest amount of views, and they're not going to have that if they release on the same day.
It does make me a little sad because that people are seeing it as Jurassic is retracting their idea, their trailer day, which isn't true. It was never planned for the 30th. It was always December 7th, always. And I get it. If you're not in, you don't know that, and you're in and whatever, but it does make it look that way, I guess, to the outside, and that makes me sad. Because Jurassic wasn't fearful. They had their week, and Infinity War had its week, and that's how it was planned. But I like that Infinity War was afraid of Jurassic. I like that.
I like Colin Trevorrow's tweet here. It says, FCC regulations against dropping 2 Chris Pratt trailers in 1 week. Our hands are tied. That's really funny. I found that pretty funny because somebody asked them like, "Hey, what's going on? When are we getting that trailer?" But you know, it was very upsetting because we were all so hyped, and we all kind of heard that it was going to be in December 7th, you know, or whatever. But you know, it was like, oh wow, well, I guess we were wrong. It's going to come a week early. But you know, and especially with that teaser that came out, which has been pulled, like Universal. I almost said Marvel. Universal's like they actually took it down from my page. They took it down from a lot of people's pages.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it got released early. That video, a lot of people have been questioning that video. I've seen it on like Reddit and Twitter. People are like, oh no, that video is fake. It wasn't. That was a real video. That was legit. That was their teaser. But I don't know. I don't know what we'll see on Sunday. Hopefully something a tad bit more. That would be nice.
I mean, now they're kind of stuck. They can't release the same thing now that they planned. Seems.
Here's this thing you already saw.
Yeah, so maybe they're going to put something else in there. Maybe we'll get stills or like maybe we'll get something extra now.
Yeah, I hope it's a little bit extra. I hope it's like at least something. And I mean, to be honest, the whole Raptor and Chris Pratt like video was very odd. Like I just don't understand it. I mean, I guess it's the hype, the movie and stuff, but with no context to that video, just say like from our family to yours. It's just like, what? Okay, sure. I'll watch it, but why?
Yeah, I want to discuss that really quick because I didn't really get to. So is they going to be doing a little bit of videos like that throughout now, which is different characters or different pieces? Because it was weird. It was odd, and everyone freaked out. And I'm like, that's great, but it's a little, I don't know. But I agree with you. It's a little odd. It didn't even have Jurassic on it. And was it a clip or promotional material? It was a bit odd.
I know. And
I don't know.
Well, we've learned now that it is why do I keep saying that? I said it on the news last week. VHS. It's not a VHS. Why do I keep saying that? VFX. Okay. That's because I'm too old. I'm I'm still in VHS days. It was, CGI. So, I mean, whether there was some sort of practicality there could have been, but it was definitely CGI. So that's out of the question. But also, it was just like handheld. Chris Pratt actually like looked and felt like he was reacting cutely, like he's like laughing to it. He's like, oh, and like it just felt real. It felt like legit. It felt like to me when I first saw it, I thought he's being introduced to this thing, this puppet for the first time, and this is his actual legit, reaction. Because there was one point earlier in the year where I think Colin Trevorrow released it. It was like Inception in a way, because I think Bayona released a picture and then Colin released a video of that picture.
Oh, yeah.
So Colin did that already. He like released like a behind the scenes video. So I thought, oh, he's doing it again, right? That's what it seemed like. So I don't know. I mean, it's very odd, and it doesn't seem like something we typically get in these movies, like a very crisp and clean high def replay video of something that happened previously. And the whole costuming issue is weird. I mean, I guess.
Why don't we have any character pictures? Like, why would we get that odd little thing before any character, anything? Theoretically, we haven't seen anything except the little girl.
Yeah.
And the poster.
And that might even not like work out the same way. Who knows how that's going to work out? But I don't know. It's so strange that we haven't gotten anything. And I mean, look, Infinity War comes out in May of 2018. So they're just hyping up their stuff now. If we're getting this at the same time, we're a month ahead of schedule. They just released a full spread of like, every superhero in one of the magazines. I forget what magazine, Empire maybe.
Was it? No, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I forget what magazine, but there was like a full spread of every superhero. Now the trailer's coming out, so I guess we're a little like ahead of schedule in a way because we're getting a trailer at the same time essentially. So I don't know.
Well,
it's weird right now.
I just want proof that Claire is in the film and all her stuff isn't deleted, because so far there has been no proof. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to delete her stuff out, and no idea. I just want that proof. That's all I want.
I've been hoping and praying that they go with a more Claire-centric story here, and a Claire like trailer and more of that, but the first thing we see here in film form, whether it's actually in the movie or not, is Chris Pratt again. So who knows?
I know. So it's a losing battle. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but we have another hour down, another Jurassic Mailbag here for December, our last, which is crazy, of 2017. How is that possible? I don't know.
Wow. And the last one before the trailer. Next time we do a mailbag, the trailer will be in our heads.
Yeah,
our eyes will have seen it.
This is poorly timed because anybody that listens to this on like Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whenever, after Thursday, people are going to be like, these people are so dumb. What are they talking about? Duh. We all know what the trailer is. We know what dinosaurs are going to be in it, guys.
That's exactly what they're going to say. Yeah. In that way, exactly.
Yeah, they're going to be a bunch of like brute, jocks that are all like, good. I don't know. I don't know why a bunch of dumb brute jocks are listening, but hey, more listeners. Why not?
Oh my goodness.
Well, Jen, why don't we get out of here? Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Jennifer_Lynn89 and at the Bryce Dallas Howard Network at BDH Network, which I am revamping the entire brand. So get ready. It's going to be exciting.
That's awesome.
Totally changing the domain, changing the website, going full width, responsive 2017 layout. No more fan site, old 3-column stuff. No, this is going to be responsive, animated, moving, cool.
Very awesome.
So we're working on that. And then I just did my first project with Bryce, like official Bryce team project happened.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. So things are going on at the Bryce Dallas Howard Network, I think, hopefully, finally.
You're staying busy as always, and I can't wait to see what happens next. And I don't know how we got through the December mailbag without mentioning, what this mailbag is, and if it resembles Santa's, whatever bag. I don't know, but somehow we made it through.
Maybe it's like a little marble pouch today.
Okay. I mean, it's like, we had a decent amount of questions, so somehow they fit all in there, but
it's the stretchy pouch.
It's the stretchy pouch.
Woo!
We'll see you guys all in the new year, and we'll have a ton more questions for everybody and answers to all these crazy questions and ramblings that we all get through every time. So we're going to have a lot to talk about in 2018, so let's keep it at that, and we'll talk again in the new year.
Right.
See ya.
Bye.
Make sure to visit JurassicParkPodcast.com to find all our past episodes, brand new news articles, information on how to contact us, and much more. It's a great source for everything related to the podcast, and of course, Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. Head to JurassicParkPodcast.com and help us build a great community.
Anybody hear that?
Thanks for listening to the 127th episode of the Jurassic Park Podcast. Of course, a big thanks to Jennifer for joining me for another fantastic installment of the Jurassic Mailbag. I don't know, was it fantastic? Well, at least it was wacky as ever. Hopefully you all don't mind the podcast falling apart at the beginning of every month with this mailbag segment. Jen, it's great. Don't worry, I love it so much. But if any of the amount of responses are any indication, then I think you're all loving it as much as we are. Thank you so much to everybody who wrote or called in. You're all the best, and I can't wait to hear from you and even more next month. Or 2018, actually. Man, that's ridiculous. And I can't believe my voice lasted this long, but I'm going to hand it off to my tried and true recording of me doing the outro. If you want to interact with us, we do most of our work over on Twitter, at Jurassic Park Pod. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Jurassic Park Podcast, and our Instagram handle is at Jurassic Park Podcast. You can listen to us via iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, YouTube, our website, or wherever else podcasts are found. So make sure to subscribe to automatically get new episodes every week. If you haven't already, please give us a 5-star review in iTunes or a great review wherever you listen to the podcast. It will seriously help out our rankings and make it easier for fans like you to find us. We're usually spotted commenting on the Jurassic Park subreddit, as Jurassic Park Podcast. Don't forget to check out JurassicParkPodcast.com for all the links you heard here today. If you want to get a hold of us, you can email us with any news stories, MP3s, comments, or if you want to debut a segment of your own, send them to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Or you can submit questions directly on our website contact form. If you'd like to record something for the show, send it in to us and we'll feature it in an upcoming episode. If you don't have any way to record, you can give our voicemail line a call and leave us a message. That number is 732-825-7763. Thanks for listening and enjoy.
No, I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
5 minutes. Drop what you're doing and leave now.